Thank you, David. So really, this is our theme for the weekend, every voice counts, because actually you are the people that the conference is about. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Moxom. I'm the same person I was last year, so no need to repeat that information. One thing that has changed since last year is that I'm now a school governor at my son's secondary school. And one of the things that any of you will know who are governors, we have to be aware of the impact of anything that the school ever does and the impact on the students. And that started me thinking really about what's the impact of what we do in NLP. And I was very privileged a couple of weeks ago to be talking to one of our international ambassadors, Carol. And she said one of the things that we are able to do as the Association for NLP is we have that overview of the community. And that puts us in a very privileged position in being able to pick up what's going on and what everybody's thinking when they bother to tell us. And one of the things that we've noticed a lot recently is that people have been saying to us, and Carol was one of them, we sat there chatting about, what is it about NLP? And we both decided that one of the things that NLP has done for us as individuals is it's changed our lives. And one of the things that NLP seems to do, that other courses don't necessarily do, is have that lasting impact. We listen to what people say. And that's so important because one of the key things that we need to do is gather that information. So in that same conversation with Carol, she told an amazing story about one of her delegates on her current Master Practitioner course. Now, she trains in Dubai, and as you probably know, last month there was Fly Dubai had an air crash in Russia and lost 62 passengers and crew. And one of the delegates on her Master Practitioner course was one of the first response team who worked for Air Dubai. And this woman had to leave the course to obviously go and deal with this particular emergency. And when she came back on the next module, she said, Carol obviously said to her, you know, how did you get on with this? That's a horrendous experience. And this delegate said, I had to sit in front of a woman who'd lost her son as one of the crew. And this woman said, who also worked at the airport, said, how am I going to watch planes taking off on a daily basis and be reminded of my son? And the delegate so beautifully reframed that and said, every time you see a plane take off, you will remember with fondness all the wonderful things you did with your son. At which point, this lady burst into tears, hugged the delegate and said, thank you, you have made a difference. And that's what we do. And sometimes we don't even realise it. And that just really got me. And I thought, that's what we do. So how could we take stories like that and really use them to raise the profile of NLP? Because that's what we have the power to do. Every single one of you in this room has something that is of value. So rather than same old, I'm just going to talk to you for 20 minutes, it's now over to you. What's your story? Now everybody on their chair has got one of these feedback forms. And we're about to do a little interactive exercise, because NLP people are good at that. And the incentive for doing this exercise is you can win an iPad mini. So not only can you do that now, but there are questionnaires on our stand of a lot of variety of different subjects, and we want to hear from you over the weekend. So every questionnaire you fill in, they're different to this one, by the way. It's not fill in the same answers 7 times. But there's different questionnaires. Every questionnaire you come and fill in will be an entry into the draw for the iPad mini, which will be drawn on Sunday afternoon. So somebody will be going home with an iPad mini. So, as all good NLPers, I would invite you, if you feel more comfortable, do close your eyes. Basically take yourself into a little zone for a moment or two. And think about the first question, which is, think about where NLP has made an impact on your life. Just think about that for a moment. And when you are ready, just jot down your story in the box numbered 1. You've got about 3 minutes to do that, so just capture the essence of that story. Where NLP has made an impact on your life. Time's up. If you haven't finished, there will be time later. Okay, so whilst you're quickly thinking about what you had for breakfast this morning, what NLP breaks down, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes again if you feel comfortable doing so. And let's go for the second question. What's your story? Think about a time where you've used NLP to make an impact in someone else's life. A lot of you are practitioners or trainers, or maybe even those of you who've just used it with your friends and family. Think about that occasion where you've used NLP to make an impact in someone else's life. And when you're ready, you can jot down that story, capture the essence of that story in box number 2. About 1 minute left until the chimes. Okay, so now whilst you're thinking about the amazing journey you had to get here today, we shall move on to the third question. What's your story? This one's an interesting one. Again, close your eyes if you feel moved to do so. Think about where NLP could have the greatest impact in society. Let's go big picture. And you may think on this one, you may think about a particular sector, like within business or education, health, or you may think about a particular type of service, for example, customer service, conflict resolution. It's entirely up to you. But just think about where NLP could have the greatest impact in society. And when you feel ready, write the answer to this particular question in box 3. big. If money were no object, if we had all the resources available. It's brilliant that so many of you are writing so much. Okay, so now whilst you're very quickly thinking about the amazing day you've got ahead of you, let's move on to the final question. Think about what has to happen next for NLP and your work for this impact to be seen. It's a good coaching question. So what has to happen next? Close your eyes and think about it if necessary. And when you're ready, jot down your answer in box 4. I'm going to fast forward this time because I'm aware we're a bit short on time. So thank you for participating in that interactive questionnaire. I would hazard a guess that within those pages there are some real nuggets of gold. So I would encourage you to be willing to hand over those pieces of paper with your contact details on if you want to be entered into the draw, or if you are willing to be contacted by ANLP in the future to get more information around your stories. Because what we want to do with these stories, with your help, is to get those stories out there to the wider community and actually to your potential clients, who are the people that need to understand how NLP could potentially have the same impact on their lives that it's had on yours. So please, come and chat to us over the weekend. We've got questionnaires for you to complete. If you haven't quite finished this one yet, please just come and hand it in to us outside by reception over the weekend. It's really important to us that we hear what you have to say. There are also opportunities over the weekend to come, and if you've got something really powerful that you want to tell us about, come and have that videoed, because we can then put that on our website. We will turn some of these into stories for rapport, and more importantly, we'll be able to use your stories to start talking to influencers and authorities about how NLP can have an impact on other people's lives. It's down to you to make this happen. Wouldn't it be great if we could start thinking about the way NLP impacts on society? And then we can use your stories to raise that profile of NLP. Thank you.